And she also did a song about drag delusion as well. So, I don't know. Maybe she's the one who's diagnosed with the delusion.
Hi, I'm Tanya Tsunami. Welcome to Kudos for Spilling. Today I have a very, very special guest, Miss Congeniality herself from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Malaysia Babydoll Foxx.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Malaysia. Thank you so much for being with us. I couldn't wait to have you on the podcast, and I'm so glad that, we made it happen.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I wore this shirt just for you. Because uniqueness, never in talent, baby.
Yeah, I have a few of those.
But you are Miss Congeniality. Although Mistress Isabel Brooks does like to tell people she won Miss Congeniality. I would believe that.
And she also did a song about drag delusion as well. So, I don't know. Maybe she's the one who's diagnosed with the delusion.
Mistress Isabel Foxx, we know you're watching this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
But actually, I love when she shreds. I mean, you got to.
She's nothing but a troll. She's writing in my group chat now about how I'm always on TikTok and I have no time for her. I'm like, sweetie.
Aw. But you came from a very talented season, and even more so, what I think is great is the lineage of Miss Congenialities. There are some greats. I mean, from Latrice Royale to my New York City sister, Monet Exchange. One that I can never shake, one of my personal faves is Katya.
Yeah.
But you have you've joined quite the lineage, and you made it far in the competition too.
Far enough.
Listen, that's these days that if this was one of the previous seasons, you could have won because they didn't have so many people.
You're right. Or I could have been first out.
Well, that's memorable. It's nothing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be first, but that's you are memorable, and your lip sync skills are chef's kiss. And that leads to my next question. I think you're a fierce lip syncer, which is obviously, part of the bread and butter, what you do. I wanted to know, what are some of your go-to lip sync songs?
My go-to, if I have to choose, I love to do lip syncs that require ad libs. And I love stuff that requires talking and stuff because I feel like I can tap into it because when I grew up, I've always went to school, and I was in chorus and I was in the magnet program. So I know how to sing. So when I do a lip sync, I like to emote the way that I would really sing if I'm singing that song.
It comes across.
So, yeah, I like to embody what that person is feeling. I like songs that really tell stories. Mm-hmm. I love doing Whitney Houston, honestly. I love Jennifer Hudson. I love soulful, powerful singers. I like Fantasia. I like just people that does very powerful songs that has a story to tell that very touching, very ad libs and stuff like that. So I don't know. You said as far as songs, I love to do Whitney Houston. I Have Nothing. I love that. I like Bare My Soul with that. I like Jennifer Hudson, and I'm Telling You. I love anything like Jennifer Hudson too. I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Mama, I hung out. I was in her trailer during Governor's Ball 2022, hanging out with her.
She's one of the sweetest, most down-to-earth people I have ever met.
So yeah, Jasmine is sweet. Have you met her?
Yes, I've actually did Jasmine Sullivan's hair one time before when I was a hairstylist and makeup artist. One of my friends who was styling her, working with her, she was in Miami and she needed somebody to style her hair, and I'd styled her hair, and she ended up staying in Miami for a few extra days, and I'd seen her on the beach, and we ended up walking and talking. She was just she has such a good spirit, and
Yeah.
She sings like an angel. Like, you know how some people, you hear their music, and then when you hear them live, it's not the same.
If they're
But
even
she's the same. It's like even better. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. She's got that melisma, which is, musical terms are in Italian, and that's just fancy for vocal runs. But
Yeah.
I mean, she hits every single note in between. It's amazing, you know. So I don't like want to ask you too much about your time on Drag Race. For some people it's traumatic. For some people, I mean, there you're good. You take the good with the bad,
Yeah.
with everything. But I do want to know like what your favorite challenge was that you got to participate in.
Oh, my favorite challenge on Drag Race, I would probably have to say, honestly, it was the design challenge. I love the design challenge because I like stuff that pushes me out of my comfort zone and out of my element. And that was something that I knew that I wasn't like super confident because I knew that I was not a seamstress before going there. And I tell people all the time, I had like one sewing class. A lot of people can't believe it because they just think that like I've been knew how to sew or that I'm lying or something. And I'm like, no, I'm just a really, really, really competitive person deep down inside. And also, I just know, like, I think me being a hairstylist and me using the needle and thread to sew in tracks, I knew that if I had to take that fabric and use it and think of it as hair, I would have sewed my whole garment by hand if I had to. And people don't think, like, I think sometimes your other talents that you possess can come in handy for things that you really need. So I knew me being a hairstylist like that. I knew how to sew with my hand. I know how to braid. I know how to do all this other stuff. And also, like, I've been doing drag for about 14, 15 years now at this point. So I know what looks nice on my body. I know what works for me. And I'm pretty good at like styling myself because I do design everything that I wear. So it's not like I have to depend on someone else to come up with a look for me because a lot of people do depend on other people to come up with their looks and their style and stuff like that. So back to the question. My favorite challenge was the design challenge because I knew that it was out of my element, but it was in my element at the same time. I knew that a lot of people would sleep on me because they thought that maybe just because I wasn't like the best seamstress that I wouldn't come up with something. But I knew that works for me. I had a pattern and I did it. And all I was just hoping was just to be safe and just to make it pass. But the first design challenge, I was in the top. So I felt good about that. The second design challenge, which was the ball, I was safe. And I'm content with that. I'm fine with that. And I was working with the first challenge was unconventional stuff. So I made a look out of like shower curtains, a throw sheet, a lamp, and stuff like that. And people don't understand, like, people want to judge it so hard because they're just looking at, oh, you're making an outfit, but no, you're making an outfit out of things that aren't used to typically make clothing. These are things that are around the house, that we had to use. And it was only a certain amount of, when you using fabric, you go to the store, you can have this amount of fabric and you know what you need. But if you're using a shower curtain, you only have like this amount and you got to make it work. So that was what was fun. It was like, I'm a thrill seeker. So I love that. I love that.
I hear you. I'm the same way. I mean, historically, my favorite challenges have always been like, well, I mean, I love all of them, but the snatch game and the reading challenge, of course. And now they have the balls every year and some design challenges,
I would say going in, I would have thought that like I would have enjoyed doing the snatch game more because I'm like, I like to impersonate and not impersonate because I'm not there, but I like to, I like to be funny and do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think at Drag Race, it's the experience is a little different than watching on TV. It's because you have like laugh tracks and you have all that that takes place and helps with everything. But when you're there, it's kind of just like really quiet, and the person that you have to impress at the end of the day is RuPaul. So obviously, if RuPaul doesn't relate to these characters or these jokes, it just kind of falls flat. it doesn't mean that you're not good, that you're not funny, because you may think that I'm very funny and that it's entertaining, but if she doesn't connect with the character, then the jokes fall flat on her behalf, so.
No, I actually, so I'm watching Alaskan Willem's podcast, recapping All Stars 2. And they love you, by the way.
No, I love Alaska and Willem.
Yeah, I haven't met Willem, but Alaska is a doll.
I met Willem and Alaska, both very.
I would say that, well, I heard from them that everyone's on ice. If you hear the cameraman's cackling a little bit, like, you're doing okay. You're no one's supposed to laugh. But that was in regards to the Mae West impression, which was great.
I mean, when I left off set, it was complete quiet. But then, like, of course, you said, "Oh my gosh, she was so funny." But that was like one of the most nerve-wracking challenges that I did. I really thought I was in the bottom for it, but it was just only because I think so many people thought it was in the bottom, and it's just because you're not getting a reaction, so you just don't know if you did good. Right. So it leaves you very tense and nervous, and I'm like, well, did I at least do a little bit better than one person? So
Right.
And you'll know the standout people. It's gonna be two people that's super funny and they gonna get the hysterical laughs out of Ru, and then it's then the other 6 of us are just sitting there fighting for our lives. So it's oh gosh, what's the chances 2 out of 6 are gonna be in the bottom? But then also I had hope because I was it was 2 groups. So I was well, maybe somebody does worse over there in the other group, than me. But we didn't watch them or we didn't see, so we can only go off of word of mouth and just reactions. But everybody was coming in, smiling and laughing like they did great. And I was oh gosh, let me learn this song,
Well, you know what? That's smart because some people don't learn lyrics.
Yeah. Well, I was there.
we won't mention names, no shade, no tea.
Yeah.
But, it happens. I know that you've been doing drag for a long time, but given the platform that does come with being associated with the franchise, what's next for Malaysia? What do you want? What are your dreams now?
What are my dreams? I feel of course, I accomplished Drag Race and I've done it. Outside of me doing drag, I love the traveling and the meeting people and stuff like that. I don't know. Honestly, right now, I'm trying to focus on doing a lot more social media because I see that's just really what is popping off right now. And, obviously, I've been more on TikTok. That was not one of the apps or one of the things that I was interested in for so long because I just could not get into it. But now, I met you through social media, and I'm I think even with that, that goes to speak for what I want to do now. I want to use my social media platforms because it is connecting me with so many amazing people. I found more community. I found more family. I found more friends. I get to connect with a lot of supporters, fans. Even at this past DragCon, the first 40 people that I met were from TikTok. So I'm okay, this is a lane that I need to step. I'm in there now, but I need to push myself and just do more and keep going and being consistent and stay committed to it and just see where it takes me. So right now, that's what we're working on. I wouldn't mind doing more TV, more, fun stuff, but right now we in the social media era.
Yeah. Well, when you want to come do a little tour in New York, do some gigs and make some money, we would love to have you.
Oh my gosh, everybody always writes me about coming to New York, New York, New York, New York. So it's next on my list. I've been to New York quite a few times. I've never performed or done drag in New York, but I've been to New York quite a few times, and it's one of my favorite places to go. So I would love to come perform in New York. So maybe we set it up. Maybe that's next.
Oh, that we definitely will set it up. If you want to come, I got you. I got you on the booking. And I hope that you stay booked and blessed and busy,
Yes.
because you deserve it. You are really a sweetheart, and you deserve the title of Miss Congeniality, because even when they tried to come for you, like with the editing on Untucked, like to make it seem like you were fighting with people, you were not. You were just keeping it real.
I was just standing up for myself. I think people don't realize that,
like
it's okay to have a favorite person and to like love somebody unconditionally also, but it's also okay to hold your person accountable for, not being so nice or, or them having a moment. We are in a competitive space. We all want to win. We all want to represent where we're from. We all want to make our friends, our peers, our hometown very proud.
Right.
So sometimes, we go, we be extreme sometimes, and sometimes we don't realize that we are doing things that we aren't doing. And at the end of the day, we're all just meeting each other in a short time frame, and we're still learning each other. So we don't know what buttons we may be pushing for somebody else. We don't know how far we could take it with somebody else. We don't know how much we could play with somebody else before somebody feels sensitive or feel, that's their breaking point. So a lot of times the fans just see stuff and of course it's a TV show and, stuff is more dramatic than what it seems at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to stand up for myself because I've been through a lot in my community to where I didn't feel accepted or I have to work extra hard just in order to get a job or get a gig or something. So when I went into that space and I started to feel the same way when girls were doing certain things to me or saying certain things or whatever, I felt the need that I had to stand up for myself and I had to feel like I was being disrespected and I didn't want to feel that way, And at the end of the day, once my voice was heard, they understood where I was coming from and everybody apologized at the end of the day. And I want people to understand, like, family, friends, peers can get into a disagreement and you can also have a resolution at the end of the day. Just because you have a disagreement doesn't mean that you hold on to those grudges forever. So,
yeah. But you teach people how to treat you, right? So,
yeah.
As far as, and then you have to step
back. If you don't say something, if you don't tell people how to treat you, then people are going to continue to treat you any kind of way. So if I don't say, hey, I don't like how you talking to me, I don't like when you said this or did this to me, how are they going to know? Okay, I can't say that. I can't push that button because this person is sensitive right there, or they don't want to tolerate this. So how people know if you don't say something, at the end of the day, instead of me just sitting there letting things build up at me, I have a breaking point. We all have a little breaking point.
Right? You're the one that gets wet and pissy.
Right. So I think people don't understand. Be like, how does she win Miss Congeniality? She's like fussing with people. No, I'm not fussing with people. I'm just standing my ground. And they understood that. And those same people, the same people y'all saying I don't deserve something or I wasn't nice or this and that, your favorite people voted for me. So, so you take it up with your favorite person.
So listen, I've had in my bio on all social media, I'm your fave's favorite since about 2019. So I know like that's like Sasha Colby says I'm your favorite drag queen.
Yeah.
And like now, Chapel Roan, I know you are both watching this. So I just want to say that I've got that from a Kehlani song a while ago. And it's not because I'm a drag hag, although I am.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what's next for you. I would love to see you put out music. I would love to see you do all the things.
A lot of people always ask me about music too. They do. It's something I want to do, but I just, and when I do something, I want to do it the right way. I want to fully commit to it. Like, I don't want to just give a little piece and not completely give the whole fantasy or whatever like that. So we have time, I don't ever want to feel like I have to rush stuff. I don't want to feel like, oh, all I have is 15 minutes and let me try to do everything and just hope something hits. It's like, I have time, I have patience, and I believe in myself. So, at the end of the day, like, I want to do one thing at a time and work on it and all those things. Like I tell people, I have a bucket list of things that I want to do. Drag race was one of the things that I wanted to do. I accomplished it. I did it. And it's a lot of things in life that I want to accomplish and a lot of dreams and goals that I want to achieve. And they will happen because I'm just the type of person that's going to keep going after it at the end of the day. So,
Because you're what? Sickening.
Sickening.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to see what the future has for you. I can't thank you enough for being on the podcast, and I'll let you know when we're gonna drop this. Do you want to tell everybody where to find you on social media and also add your Cash App or Venmo?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, X, at Foxy_doll. That's FOXXY_DOLL. You can mainly see, if you want to see me, they said, hey, Malaysia's on TikTok all day long. Listen, you can come see me most of the day on TikTok because that's like my current platform that I am dedicated to.
Yeah.
And listen, we chat, we have a good time. You're always over there showing me so much love and support. I appreciate you. What else? Oh, my Cash App and Venmo is the same thing. Foxy_doll. So FOXXY _DOLL. I think on Cash App it's Foxy Doll with no underscore. But yeah, I appreciate the love. I have Cameo too. Like, so if you want a video for a special moment, Foxy Doll on there too. So
yes, and hit your queens, support your queens.
Support your local queens too. Like, make them drag race superstars locally too. Like, I support local drag. That's honestly why I wanted to go on Drag Race, because I wanted to utilize that platform to show queens where I'm from that it's possible to believe and achieve whatever it is that you dream of. It took me 6 times to get there. I did it. I made it. I'm so proud of myself. And like, if I would have went home first, I would have still been so happy because I achieved that. I opened up that door. Then the next season, we had 2 other Miami girls. We had Morphine, we had Maya.
Yes.
We all represent Miami very well. And
did you watch the season?
Huh?
Did you watch the season?
Yes, of course. I had the support.
I was at the workroom. Yeah. Because I was a big Plain Jane fan. I am a big Plain Jane fan.
I like Plain Jane too.
I love Plain Jane. Yeah, I was supposed to be at DragCon, but I broke my shoulder. It was but like, it all works out for the better.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you, and I will put all that in the description. Thank you so much. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You're a doll, and much love and kisses.
I'm so happy I could do this for you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you putting me on your platform to give me more exposure and everything. I'm so honored to be here. And y'all, make sure y'all, like, subscribe, and continue to follow this podcast and whatever that Tanya has in store. Make sure y'all support it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, honey, I'll let you go. I know you're very busy. So, bye.
I'll see you on TikTok. Okay.